In this episode, you're going to discover how to use pop songs that you already love to warm up your voice. Let's dive into it. Hey, welcome to this new episode in which you're going to discover how you can use pop songs or any other songs that you love singing as a warm-up instead of singing boring scales and then not do your warm-up at all. Now, what most singers do is they just start singing without warming up their voices. And I get it, because sometimes singing those scales over and over and over and over again is very boring, especially when you want to get to the singing part. Now, when you don't warm up your voice, that might cause vocal damage, and you only have one voice. We need to take care of it. Your voice is not like a guitar where you can go to the music shop when it's broken and buy a new one. So it's important that we take care of our voices and that we have some good vocal practices so that we can keep using this voice for a long time in our lives. Now, in our Singing Insiders program, we have a whole vocal workout library with sing-along warm-up routines that you can just hit play and then warm up your voice that way. And we also have a whole module and a whole process to actually show you how you can use songs that you love to warm up your voice instead of singing those particular exercises. And in this episode, I'll give you the first 3 steps of that process. Because first of all, I do not want to overwhelm you with all the steps. And second of all, these 3 steps alone are already enough to give your voice a massive transformation so that you can actually get started with all of this. So let's dive into it. I'm about to give you the first step to warm up your voice using songs that you already love. And again, most singers, what they tend to do is just take a song and sing it. That's not necessarily the right approach, because some songs have huge ranges, meaning that they have low notes and high notes. And if you start singing that kind of song from the get-go, well, then you're stretching your vocal cords a little bit too fast, with the risk of straining and creating even more tension. So, what we need to do instead is identify a song or a part of a song that starts with a limited range. With that, I mean that activates one register in your voice. For example, I love to start with chest voice. So if maybe you know this already, maybe not, and we have different episodes talking about the different vocal registers. But to summarize, I'm not going to go too deep into these. We have 3 main registers: your chest voice, your head voice, and then the mixed voice, which finds itself in between those 2. So to start off your vocal practice and vocal warm-up, it would be very beneficial to start with a limited range song activating your chest voice. An example of that might be the chorus of Let It Be by the Beatles. It goes like this. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. That's a part of the song that only activates your chest voice. Now, if you want, you can even go ninja with this and take it half a tone higher, so that you're still in chest voice, but you're slowly expanding that range. So then we have, for example, here, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. I'm still in chest voice, but I'm slowly expanding my range. And again, I can go even higher. Maybe I can go to this key. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Now the key here is that we're staying in our chest voice. So we're in our one register, we took one part of the song that stays within that register, very small range. And what we're doing is just getting that key higher and higher and higher, still within the chest voice, to really activate and warm up our lower notes. That is step one. Now you can see our vocal cords like a rubber band that's been sitting in the fridge. If you suddenly stretch it too far and too fast, well, the rubber band will snap or will get damaged. And that's what happens when you're warming up with a big, huge range in a song. So instead, we want to find that small range that is in chest voice, that we can ground our sound and then take it up piece by piece by piece by piece. That is step one. Now let's go into the second step to warm up your voice using songs that you already like. Now, in this step, most singers make the mistake of avoiding the part of their voice that doesn't sound nice yet. And I know I've been guilty of that so much because I used to ignore my head voice totally. Like my head voice was a part of my voice that sounded wobbly and shaky and breathy. And I was like, it doesn't sound nice. I'm just going to ignore it, never sing in that register. Now, the thing is, if you keep avoiding that part of your voice, well, it will never improve and get better. So what we want to do is be very intentional of specific exercises that we can sing within that part of the voice. And that's the second step. In step one, we activated the chest voice. In step two, we're looking for a song or a part of a song that activates the head voice. An example of that might be this song, the chorus of All I Want by Codaline. In this chorus, the melody does this. But if you love me, why'd you leave me? Take my body, take my body. All I want is, and all I need is to find somebody. I'll find somebody. That's a beautiful chorus to activate your head voice. And then the same thing as with the previous step, we can then say, okay, now that we've sang it in this key, let's take it a little bit higher just so that we can keep stretching that head voice register. So then we might be here. But if you love me, why'd you leave me? Take my body, take my body, and so on and so forth. So here too, we're looking for a song or a part of a song that only activates the head voice. And this is a key word here, only. We don't want to have a transition yet. That's for later. For now, we want to make sure that we're in that head voice register, because then we activated the chest voice, we activated the head voice, and that gives us a beautiful preparation for the third step in the process, which is activating the mixed voice. So let's take a look at that. So the third step to sing and warm up your voice, singing songs that you already love, is to look at that middle space in between. Now, most singers, they make the mistake to only focus on those extreme parts of their voices. So the extreme high notes, so head voice, or the extreme low notes, chest voice. But they rarely pay attention to that part in between that is often around the vocal break. And by only focusing on those two extreme parts, well, then you're not really practicing the transition between the two. And that's where the magic happens. Instead of having this heavy sound, going up and then feeling that voice crack, where you then flip into head voice, we want to have a smooth transition. In between the two. That's the magic of mixed voice. So think of it like a color gradient, right? Imagine that we have deep red on one side and then pale pink on the other side. And deep red is your chest voice, pale pink is your head voice. If you ignore the in-between shades to get from one to the other, your singing will sound like patchy, like two separate voices. I once had someone and she said, my chest voice sounds like a farmer and my head voice sounds like a princess. How can I make them beautifully flow into each other? And that's what a good mixed voice and especially warming up your voice, using your mixed voice will help you do, because that will create that seamless transition. That's where the magic happens. So again, here it's a matter of choosing the right song that will have you sing on the break between chest and head voice. One that I absolutely love to use for this purpose is You Say by Laura Daigle. And that song goes like this. So the chorus of this song, we do, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. These notes are right on the break, especially for female singers in this key. If you're a male singer, you might have to tweak things around and take it a little bit higher. For males, I would suggest putting it in this key and then sing in your upper octave. You say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. This is the key of C for men. And then for women, I would suggest the key of G flat. Those notes are right on the border between chest and head voice for many singers. And that's where you're really practicing and warming up your mixed voice register. So as you see, what we've done today was just the start of your vocal practice, the warm-up, right? We had chest voice, head voice, mixed voice. Now there's so much more to discover within the warm-up and beyond the warm-up, because singing is not just about singing the right notes. Singing is also about embodying a song and being able to perform that in front of others without feeling any anxiety. And that is such a huge conversation to have that I don't want to have this right now in this episode. I'm inviting you to go to the episode that I link in the description here down below next, because that will open up the conversation to, now that you have this foundation of warming up your voice, what is the next thing that you can focus on to actually make fast progress within your singing? And we're going to go over the 3 elements of the vocal freedom method, which is a methodology that I always teach from. So my invitation to you would be to click that link down below. I'll put it in the description, and I will see you there. Thank you so much for having been here today, and we'll talk soon. Bye.